Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraya Nasta Preshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana. Unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the Supreme human being. Unto Mother Saraswati, Goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. The regular attendance on the classes on Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving transcendental service unto the glorious Lord, who is praised by transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 3rd chapter, text 12. So this verse is, we're going to just chant Jai Shri Radha. Ata katanchit sakala skalana chutpatanam jimbana durvasat anadisu visvasanam naha smaranaya jvaramaranam dasyamapi sakala kasmala nirasanani tava gunakrit namadhyayani vachana gocharani bhavantu ata still katanchit somehow or other skalana stumbling chud hunger patana falling down jimbana yawning durvastana because I've been placed in an undesirable position adisu and so on vivasanam unable naha of ourselves smaranaya to remember jvara marana dasyayam in the case of having a high fever at the time of death. Oh, api also sakala all kasmala sins nirasanani which can dispel tava your guna attributes krita activities. Namadeyani, names. Vachana Gocharani, possible to be uttered. Bhavantu, let them become. Translation, my dear Lord, we may not be able to remember your name, form, and qualities due to stumbling, hunger, falling down, yawning, or being in a miserable disease condition at the time of death, when there is a high fever. We therefore pray unto you, O Lord, for you are very affectionate to your devotees. Please help us remember you and utter your holy name, attributes, and activities, which can dispel all the reactions of our sinful lives. Please respond, my dear Lord. We may not be able to remember your name, form, and qualities due to stumbling, hunger, falling down, yawning, or being in a miserable disease condition at the time of death, when there is a high fever. We therefore pray unto you, O Lord, for you are very affectionate to your devotees. Please help us remember you and utter your holy name, attributes, and activities which can dispel all the reactions of our sinful lives. The real success in life The real success in life is Ante Narayana Smriti, remembering the holy name, attributes, activities, and the form of the Lord at the time of death. Although we may be engaged in the Lord's devotional service in the temple, material conditions are so tough and inevitable that we may forget the Lord at the time of death. Very important point. Although we may be engaged in the Lord's devotional service in the temple, material conditions are so tough and inevitable that we may forget the Lord at the time of death due to a disease condition or mental derangement. Therefore, we should pray to the Lord to be able to remember His lotus feet without fail at the time of death. When we are in such a precarious condition, in this regard, one may also see Srimad Bhagavatam 6 to 9, 10, and 14, 15. So, Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnanam Gnanashalaka Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sattvitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamam Vidati Swaparandikam Vandayam Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sakajatam Sahagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajim Shadvidam Shavadutam Garajanam Sayitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shagandam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suya Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So thank you again for joining in on our Sunday Bhagavatam class. So we are continuing our prayers by the saviors who were doing this fire sacrifice. They were doing it on behalf of Nabi Maharaj, and he wanted to have a son. So they were doing this puja, fire sacrifice, and because of their potent chanting a mantra, the Lord descended. So when the Lord descends, so they are glorifying the Lord. So here we have heard series of prayers, yes. So today we are hearing them about a very important point about death. Yes. So what do you know about death? Let us go to the Bhagavad Gita. Tell me what verses you know about death in the Bhagavad Gita. Let's cover the Bhagavad Gita first.
8586. 8586.
That is remembering death at the time. We want to know what is death. Huh?
227. 227.
227. So anybody else? Come on. Bhagavad Gita. Hello? Huh? Very good. Good. Give him applause for a new book. Very good. So this is the first verse that Krishna spoke to Arjuna, correct? Okay, here. Right. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara prati dhirastatrana muhyate. Right? That's the first verse, right? As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes to another body at death. Yes? So that means the soul's passing away to another body, it is called, I explain here, a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Right? What else? What else? Come on. What else? Hello? 217. 217. 217. I was thinking about the garment. Yeah. So this is more appropriate, na? See that? Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grunanti naro parani tata sarirani vihaya jignani anyani samyanti navani dehe. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless one. This is called death. Yes? What else? Come on.
227.
227. What is that?
The soul passing.
What is the Sanskrit word? Huh?
The second birth.
Oh. So 227. जितास्य है दुर्मृत्यु दुर्वम जन्म मृतास्य च तस्मात् परिहार्ये ऋते नात्वं शोचितुम अर्हसि. Very important. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. And after that, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of duty, you should not lament. So, death means what? If you have taken birth means death is, and if you have died, birth is assured. Correct? What else? Come on. Any more? Chapter 2. Huh? He said 217. What was that? 217? Huh? Huh? अविनाशितु तद्विति येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशं व्यासि च न कश्चित् कर्तुम् अर्हति. This is not relevant. Huh?
15, 8, 9, 10.
What is that verse that says that even the wise are bewildered in understanding about the soul? Huh? 229? It is very complex method. It's not something it is easy to understand. Yes? See? Yeah. So all this death and birth and all, it's some soul, some look on the soul as amazing, some describing as amazing, and some hear of him amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. It also applies to death. Because for the soul, in the trap in the material body, there's birth and death. Yes? That's why Krishna says. What else he say about death? Second chapter is speaking about the soul's entrapment in the body, and here is what?
220.
Oh, very good. 220. What else? Na jayate miryate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nitya sasvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. It is unborn, eternal, ever existing and primal. It is not slain when the body is slain. So the soul is different from the body. And for the soul there is only the body. The soul has no death for the soul. There is only death for the body. You understand this? Hello? Why did you take birth if you understood this? If you understood this, why did you take birth? That means you didn't understand. Yes. Yes. So what else? What other verses you have? Huh? 221. What is that Sanskrit? Huh? What is the translation? This one, the Mayavad use this verse, Mayavad use this verse and say, see, you can kill the animal and eat, no problem. You're not killing the soul. You understand? They say like that. So this is not quite, this verse is not so quite. So, okay, I guess we covered all that in second chapter. Did we miss out anything?
Because the other verses were basically
Yeah.
Last one is 230.
230.
230.
What is that?
The body cannot be there, the soul cannot be slain. The body is
that is already mentioned.
mentioned already 220.
Covered?
Basically, same points.
Same point is repeating 230 is the last verse there.
Krishna summarizing. The soul cannot be killed, but the body can be killed. So to say. So now we understood that the soul is not dying, but the body will die. Correct? Yes? I'll go into another verse because this is in another place. This one is explained by Krishna to Uddhava in the 11th canto. So here you see very clearly he's explaining this word. Vishaya adineveshana natmanam yasmarat punaha jantorvai kasyachid deto mrityu atyanta vismitaha. When the living entity passes from the present body to the next body, which is created by his own karma, he becomes absorbed in the pleasure and painful sensation of the new body and completely forgets the experience of the previous body. This total forgetfulness of one's previous material identity, which comes about for one reason or another, is called death. See, Krishna's definition of death. This is more, the explanation is more complete, yes? Yes? So that Krishna explained here in the Bhagavad Gita and then here in the Bhagavatam. Of course, Bhagavatam is very deep subject matter. And of course, the next verse he explained what is birth. O most charitable Uddhava, what is called birth is simply a person's total identification with a new body. One accepts a new body just as one completely accepts the experience of a dream or fantasy as reality. See, he's explaining about death and he's also explaining about birth. And he's giving the analogy of what? Now you go to bed, you sleep, right? When you sleep, you dream, right? And you think that is real. Yes? You forget your real body. This body also is temporary. So you see how the explanation. So we have more or less understood the death, right? Okay. Now, how this now we read this verse. How it goes to another body. How the living entity passes away the present body to the next body. How that happens? Can anyone say Bhagavad Gita? In the Bhagavad Gita,
15:8, 9.
before we go there.
858.
Very good. So here Krishna is explaining how the soul, what happens here. Antakale cha mam eva smaranam. Antakale means at at the time of death. You think of me, muktva kalaivaram. Muktva means giving up this kalaivaram. What is this kalaivaram? Ya priyati. Priyati means what? Yeah? Journey, prayam, right? Ya priyati sa madbhavam. Madbhavam is my abode. Yati nasti atra samsaya. What does that last line mean? Samsaya means what? Na means what? So you know Sanskrit already. Huh? Pandit. Huh? And whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, at once attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Of course, whenever there is a positive thing, then the negative thing is also there. Correct? That's how Krishna is explaining. He says, if you do remember me, then you go to my, at the time of death. Very important. Anta kale. Anta, at the time of. So now what happens if you don't think of me? Two things, na? Krishna is explaining. What happens if you don't think of me? Huh? So the next verse is explaining. Yam yam vapi smaranam bhavan. That means yam yam whatever. You think. Smaran means what? Bhavam. Bhavam means you. Tejante kalaivar. Again, tyajante means giving up. Ante kalaivaram. At the time of tam tam eva te kauntaya sadata avita. So here, very important verse. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state you will attain without. So this is how the soul gets another body. Just now we say about karma, right? Huh? So how does this work with that? How you put karma inside here? How? Hello? You said this, just now we read the verse, according to your karma, correct? Yes. Huh? How does this karma comes here by your remembrance? Whatever you do most. Very good. Actually, this is related to your karma means, that karma means according to the modes of material. Suppose you are in the mode of goodness. What happens? Can you tell me the verse? When you die, at the time of death, you are in the mode of goodness. Let them give them a chance. I know you thoroughly, you know all this in your fingertips. I am training. Hello, come on. Where? Where? What happens if you die in the karma of goodness? Let's put it this way. Where you go? And you die in the mode of passion, what happens? And if you die in the mode of ignorance, what happens? This is what Krishna is referring to, it's karma, correct? Just now we read, no? Yeah, the verse 11, 22, 39. Yes? Krishna explains, right? According, of course, in the Bhagavad Gita, he said, me yata deha, you transfer, you go. But here is at the word, according to your. So in the karma of goodness, you die. Where do you go? That's there in the Bhagavad Gita also. Come on. Hello. Huh? Remember, I give you a clue. All this thing is about the modes. It is only in one chapter is the modes. Very good. 14. So where is the verse in 14? See? Simple, isn't it? Why so difficult? You see, everybody can preach already. What's the problem? Yes? 14? Okay, let's go to 14, 18. So this verse Prabhupada quotes many times. Every time Prabhupada will quote this. Urdvam gachanti satvastha madhyati stanti rajasa jahanya guna. Jahanya guna means mode of ignorance. Vitista adaho gachanti tamasha. So those situated in the mode of goodness by karma go what? Up to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planet. Those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish world. Right? Again, this point is more strongly explained in another verse. You know what verse is that? Hello? Maybe this one you don't know. 17. 17 what? Huh?
This 13:22 also Karanam Manasam Vasya Saraswati.
Yeah, that one is there. I'll go to this verse. No. 17:4, sorry. Let's help everyone with the Bhagavad Gita first. Huh? See here, this is more clear. This verse is very clear. Okay? Understand this? Man in the mode of goodness worship the demigods, and then in the what verse he said demigod worship, go to demigods. Huh? What verse said demigod worship, go to demigods? Come on, hello. Hare Krishna, come on. Are you reading the book or not? He is a Pandit from Bengal. Where is this Prabhu? Bangari Pandit. Hello? Where? Where? Hare Krishna. Come on, where it says that you worship demigod, you go to the demigods? 7? No, 7, please. Hello? What are you doing? Give him another set of this folio. He got the wrong thing. It is what? Give you a clue. 9. Give you a clue again. 9. 9 what? That's why, you all are coming here for the class, you sit down and then you go. I don't know what you're learning. Huh? I don't know what you're learning. That's why I must test you. Yeah, correct? Next time you sit here. That's the best. Yeah? 9 what? Very good. See? 9:25 what it says? Those who worship demigods go to. Those who in the mode of passion worship demons, where they go? How to go demon? Worshipping in the mode of? Pitra Yanti. That verse, no? 9:25, that's not. Those who worship the Pitras, forefathers, they go to Pitra Lok. I see here. But those who worship in the mode of passion, they can become demons. And those who worship in the mode of ignorance, they become Bhuta, Bhutani, Bhuteja. That worship ghosts and spirits. So ignorance means worshipping ghosts and spirits. You see how the death is very, very, goes according to the karma. So if you keep your consciousness as such, as now you quoted that verse 13. You see? Very important this verse. how all this are, playing a part is, we have to. The living entity in material nature follows the way of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. That's now the word karma. Huh? This is due to the association with the material nature. Thus, it meets with good and evil among various species. You know, this is also explained in the Bhagavatam. Of course, I, I will just show it to you. That day I show you, right? Remember? You remember now? 11? What chapter in the 11th canto is about the modes of material nature? Because I don't think you will know. It is in the chapter 25. Huh? Chapter what? So in chapter 25, you see how the same point is illustrated here, but there's you see how this very same point is illustrated here with the increase of the mode of goodness, the strength of demigods similarly increase. When passion increases, demonic becomes strong, and with the rise of ignorance of Uddhava, the strength of the most wicked increases. Huh? So you see, when you are according to your karma, it is be understood that alert wakefulness comes from the mode of goodness, sleep with dreaming from the mode of passion, and deep dreamless sleep from mode of ignorance. The fourth stage of consciousness pervades this three and is transcendent. You see why it is very important, because if you die in your sleep, you know what happens. You understand? Oh, he had a peaceful death. How do you know? And you can see dreamless sleep and dying in sleep. They are all in the mode of hello. What? Huh? What happens if you die in ignorance? I just see this. This is a very important word. Amutyata. This word. This word amutyata. Head first. What? Head. That means how you fall down. Not you fall down with your leg down. How you fall down? See, that means it's very good falling down. Where you fall down with your head. That means you are diving down. Learn a person dedicated to Vedic culture, elevated the mode of goodness to higher and higher position. That means you die in the mode of goodness, what? The mode of ignorance, on the other hand, forces one to fall head first into lower and lower, and by the mode of passion, one continues migrating through human bodies. But it's very hard to stay in the mode of passion, right? It is always what? Unless you transcend. That means becoming Krishna conscious. So now we understood that we changing body according to where else it says in the Bhagavad Gita how the body gets formed. After that, how do you know?
15,
Bhagavad Gita.
in 15th chapter, 8th sloka, as they carry sarvama.
Very good. 15th chapter, text 8, 9, and 10. So here, I'm going very quickly, otherwise I won't have time to finish the most important point of today's class. The living entity, the living entity in the material world carries different conception of life from one body to another, as the air carries aroma. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. So again, this is hello. And then he goes to the next body according to the mother, whatever body the mother has, then he will develop a certain kind of ear, tongue, nose, according to the particular sense of Jack. All right, now this is a very important verse. This one here, this verse is very, very. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit this body, nor can they understand what sort of body enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see this. This is important. You understand? Train in what? Yesterday's verse. Yesterday's verse. You know, although you are chanting and everything is good, but to strengthen that you need what? Yesterday, right? You need what? You understand? Yeah, you may be chanting and everything is nice, you're doing your devotional service, but you need to be what? Ah, that the verse does not finish there. It will what? Strengthen your, what is the word? Conviction, is that right? What? You didn't touch this subject actually.
Okay, 1 to 12, that was the Siddhartha and Ram Vairagya. That it will strengthen.
This point is very important in that verse yesterday because it speaks that by knowledge you can strengthen your what? Your conviction. Yes? You understand or not? So it's very important. I see. But those whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all. That's why Krishna spoke the. That's why the first verse he told Arjuna, you're talking big, big words, but you don't know what you're talking. Huh? Correct? Yes or not? Yes. Yes. So therefore, you see how important this knowledge is. Of course, knowledge, then you got speculative knowledge, but that is rejected. But real knowledge is required. Just to know. Just now you read the verse. Even those who know, they cannot understand the science of this. Correct? So we have understood this, how the body is going. Now we understood death. Right? How do you know death is painful or not painful? Bhagavad Gita. Maybe they say, no, death, very nice, Prabhu, just passing away. I don't mind dying. Yeah? Right? Hello? How do you know that this death thing is? Just now the verse, right? We read today, right? At the what? Time of death, there will be what? Fever, what? Eye fever, so much of worry that you will not be able to maintain your consciousness. Yes? So where in the Bhagavad Gita this thing is mentioned? At the time of death. Huh?
The people who die in the
Painful situation. Huh? Where? Come on. Hello? Hello? 13. I give you a clue. 13. Huh? Give you more clue. 13, 8 to 12. Yeah? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. What is that? Sarva Dukkha? Sarva Sukha or Sarva Dukkha? Very good. Sarva Dukkha. Kṛṣṇa means what? You're going to face it. So, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is not very nice thing. Hello? Okay, to stress this more, you must remember this because this is from the Bhagavatam. You know, anybody knows? 11? 11, 10, 20. Huh? But I was thinking about this. This is very, very, very appropriate. Okay? O elevated demigods, at the time of death, severe, unbearable pain takes away the consciousness of the living entity who have accepted material body. Don't you know about this pain? Please remember this verse. Huh? Very easy to remember. 6, 10, 3. Hello? Do you know the Sanskrit better still? Api Vrinda. Not Vrindavan. Vrindaratyayuvam na janita saririnam samstayam yastu abhidro dusha ahas chetana apa. Hey, duhu. Huh? Duhu shaha, unbearable, chetana, the consciousness. So I said this verse is very, very important. Huh? See how death is painful. Death is painful. Correct? Yes? Now, how to prevent death? Of course, that's the next question. Huh? We know death is painful. We know what happens. First, we know we are the soul. We are covered with the body. I'm just kind of refreshing again. Then what happens? You can take according to different karmas. Yes? In this way, of course, we are going from one body to another body to another body. So these points, Prabhupada summarized these 4 points. This point in 6, 1, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. So this verses, you can take notes and then you can go and refer to them. Prabhupada gave a class on this verses 6, 1, 50 to 55. Bhagavatam. It speaks about these points about the soul, how. So now we have understood that death is painful, and repeated death is repeatedly painful. And this death cannot be what? Forgone. Even if you go to the highest planet. Where is that verse? Very good. This one give you the hair clap. Huh? Let me go finish this up. This one is 8:16. Yes. All right. So you see how if you go Abrahma Bhuna Bhuvana Loka Puna Bhattinorjuna Mama Petu Kauntaya Puna Janmana Vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery. Hello? So, topmost planet to the lowest planet is full of wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So now you understand. Kṛṣṇa is speaking about the material creation where there is repeated birth and death from the topmost planet to the. Don't think that Brahma Loka is all right. No, after all, come on. Lord Brahma, he goes back to God. But then Lord Brahma also falls down. Correct? So, dangerous. Dangerous. Right? Where is the other place that Kṛṣṇa says also? Just now he said what? 10:3. I know that verse. I have to come to that later. This point that we are making now, from the topmost planet to the bottommost planet, there's full of miseries. Yes? Correct? Yes? So, even you run, as now you go to this verse, I will go there. So here, you see here, this verse, no one in the material world has become free from the four principles of birth, death, old age, and disease, even fleeing to the various planets. But now that you have appeared, my Lord, death is fleeing in fear of you, and the living entities having obtained shelter at your lotus feet, by your mercy are sleeping in full mental peace. 2 points. You see here, going anywhere else cannot save you. Huh? Correct? Yes. The only person can save you is that by taking shelter of the Lord. Can you tell me in the Bhagavad Gita? By taking shelter of the Lord, only you can be saved. Hello, Pandit from Andhra Pradesh now. The Bengali Pandit, the Andhra Pradesh here. Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharma Parityaja. Yeah. Mom, but I mean, we want the fleeing you from death. Of course, that I don't say no. Come on, hello, Singapore Pandit. So many Pandits are sitting here. I was thinking of this verse, chapter 12, text 6 and 7. For one who has taken shelter of me, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of. Right? Bhagavad Gita? Of course, this was also there. That is 9. So we'll read this first. This verse you see here. Teshamaham samudarta mrityu samsara sagarat. You see this? Bhavamena chirat par. Na chirat means what? Chiram, chiranjiva, chiranjiva, they say, right? Na chirat means quickly. Maya wastes the shetasham. But those who worship me, giving up all activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engage in devotional service, always meditating on me, being fixed, having fixed their mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for them, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Anywhere else, he does now show moksha, maranam. Yes? Now, if you don't accept this, then Kṛṣṇa says you will go back to the cycle of birth and death. I'm sure you know this very well. Those who have no faith. What was? Hello? I think you know all of the aerodynamics about this hair handling unit back to a bottle. I don't think that will save you. He's doing his prana exercise. What is the verse? Come on. 1858. You'll be lost. No. Come on, 9th chapter. Some more clue. Where? 9th chapter. Give you clue some more. Some more where? What? 9 what? You don't know anything. 9:3. Very good. Right here, you see, Kṛṣṇa also saying, if you don't have faith, then what? Asradadana Purusha Dharmasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nirvartante Mrityu Samsara. What money? Yeah. Okay? Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attend me or conquer of enemy. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. That means the faithless will go on and on and on. For those who have faith in Kṛṣṇa, is the swift deliverer. For those who have no faith, right? Where he says that only Kṛṣṇa can deliver. Demigods cannot deliver. Where he says that demigods cannot deliver. Of course, you quoted the verse yesterday. But in the Bhagavad Gita, so you will know. Tell me, Bhagavad Gita. Only Kṛṣṇa can deliver. Nobody else can deliver. Come on. Bhagavad Gita. Hello? What about the ladies? They're just making garlands. Come on, go 5 minutes more. I have not finished this class. And I've got to go to the other section some more. I have to wrap up. Hello? Come on, come on. No, that's why I think not many came today. Huh? They all ran away because they knew there was going to be a test. Mukunda flew off. He got Mukunda.
1840.
Huh?
1840.
18?
40. There is no meaning in this material world. No more.
No, being the material world, yeah. Demigods all are inside the modes. Now you quoted 18 what? 66. Mam Ekam. In the Bhagavad Gita, what is this? Only what? Me. Then you will get free from all this. Where else is it? Of course, this one, where? Bhagavatam. Let's go, Bhagavatam. Where else? Okay, give you another clue. Third canto. Okay, give you another clue. 25. 3:25. One more. You can easily do the search now, I'm sure. Hello. 3:25. 40. Huh? I think 40, 41. 39, 40. Okay. Here. See? I think one word before, is it? Oh, no. Okay, here. नायत्र मद्भागवतः प्रधान पुरुषेश्वरत् आत्मन सर्वभूतानां भयं तीव्र निर्वर्तते. The terrible fear of birth and death can never be forsaken by anyone who resorts to any shelter other than solid. This is what? Bhagavad Gita we have said, surrender to me alone, but not point. Here it says what? You taking down the notes or not? Are you sure? Otherwise, again, so you see, the terrible fear, now this word, the terrible fear, this now we describe, death is what? Not only death is fearful, birth is also very fearful. Can never be forsaken by anyone who resorts to any shelter other than myself. For I am the Almighty Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original source of all creation, and also the Supreme Soul of all souls. Lord Shiva also said in the Bhagavad Gita, Mukti Pradataha, Sarvation, Mukti Pradata, Vishnu Evana Samsaya. That one is in 7:14 purport. Remember, 7:14 purport, Lord Shiva is saying, nobody can liberate you except. And of course, I nearly forgot. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna equates himself as death. 10:34. Very good. Now, before I go, I just want to show you the verse before this. Actually, I just. Thus the devotee who worship me, the all-prevailing Lord of the universe, in unflinching devotional service, gives up all aspiration to be promoted to the heavenly planet or to become happy in this world with wealth, children, cattle, or home, or anything in relation to the body. I take him to the other side of birth and death. See this? Only the devotee has that what? That warrant to go to the other side of birth and that also who will take you? You cannot go by yourself. Huh? Who has to take you? Hello? Huh? Only Krishna can take you. Okay, we have covered this at length already now. Now, our question now is that of today's class. Huh? Today's class, what to do at the time of death? Now we have covered death, painful, yes, what happens, you're involved, so many things wake up. Now how to prevent this death now? What to do at the time of death? Because we have two verses, you remember me, you come to me. Yes? Correct? So what to do? This is the question that Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadev Goswami. Especially someone who is Miryamanam, about to die. You know, what is the duty of a person who is about to? You know, right? 119. Because he only got 7 days left, no? Huh? So here, you are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, especially for one who is about to die. What to do now? Tell me. So of course, he explains that. And then this is the famous verse. This is a very, very important, right? What is that? 16, eh? Ante Narayana. 6, huh? So he replied in this way. एतावन् संख्य योगाभ्याम स्वधर्म प्रनिष्ठया जन्मलाभ परापुंसम ante Narayana Smith. Prabhupada quoted this in the purport today. So the highest perfection of human life achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, by practice of mystic power, or by perfect discharge of occupational duty, is to remember the personality of Godhead at the time of life. So someone told me, Prabhu, this is all right, no? Then I will just wait until I die, then I will remember, no? Huh? Can you remember at the time of death? Huh? Can?
Practice only makes.
How do you know you practice? Is just now today's verse? You read today's verse? Even you are practicing proper right in the purport, even you are practicing devotionals at home, I mean in the temple, correct? There's a good chance you will not remember. Today's verse, purport, you read the purport 2, what is that, 6:3, huh? 5:3, 12. Prabhupada is saying, right? Yes? You may be doing big puja, and then you, time of death, what happens? Forgot. Very dangerous mistake. Yes? How? Tell me. See, at the time of death, to remember this. So this, for this, two purports are there, very important purports. Do you know, I've quoted that many times to you. Do you remember? I've quoted these two purports very over and over again. Do you remember? Hello? Nothing. Right? This I quote this many times. Huh? So this was this was so because those who have dedicated their life to the transcendental topics of personality of Godhead, of whom the Vedic hymns sing and who are constantly engaged in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, do not run the risk of having misconception even at the last moment of their lives. Hello? Engage in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord. Do not run the risk of what? Having misconception even at the last moment of their. Okay, here the purport is very important. No? The highest perfection of life is attained by remembering the transcendental nature of the Lord in the last moment of one's life. This perfection of life is possible for one who has learned the actual transcendental nature of the Lord from the Vedic hymn sung by liberated soul like Sukadeva Goswami or someone in the line of disciplic succession. There is no gain in hearing the Vedic hymn from some mental speculator when the same is heard from an actual self-realized soul and is properly understood by service and submission. Everything becomes transparently clear. Thus, a submissive disciple is able to live transcendently and continue to the end of his life by scientific adaptation. One is able to remember the Lord even at the end of life, when the power of remembrance is slackened due to the dearrangement of bodily membrane. For a common man, it's very difficult to remember things as they are at the time of death. But by the grace of the Lord and his bona fide devotees, the spiritual master, one can get this opportunity without difficulty, and it was done in the case of Maharaj Parikshit. That, understand? This is very important. Eh? Another verse, another one. Where is that? I quote. Huh? No. 6:2. 48 or what? Second last verse. These two verses, you please try to remember this. 49? 49, 49 is last. 48, 40. $49. Yeah. It's the last verse of this chapter. It's very important. Huh? You try to remember this because it is very important. Here the word same here. Miryamano, Hare Nama, Kṛṣṇa Putra, Upacharitam, Ajamelo, Ti Agat Dama, Kimuta Sadaya Nam. This is the verse. While suffering at the time of death, Ajamil chanted the holy name of the Lord, and although the chanting was directed toward his son, he nevertheless returned home back to Gari. Therefore, if one faithfully and inoffensively chants the holy name of the Lord, where is the doubt that he will return to God? Where is the doubt? Right? But the book orders. At the time of death, one is certainly bewildered because his bodily functions are in disorder. Today's verse. At that time, even one who throughout his life has practiced chanting the holy name of the Lord may not be able to chant the Hare Krishna mantra very distinctly. Did that point in? This is what the sages were frightened of. What would happen if we cannot? Huh? Yes? Nevertheless, such a person receives all the benefits of chanting the holy name. See, Prabhupada is writing. While the body is fit, therefore, why should we not chant the holy name of the Lord loudly and distinctly? Yes? If one does so, it is quite possible that even at the time of death, he will be properly able to chant the holy name of the Lord with love and faith. In conclusion, one who chants the holy name of the Lord constantly is guaranteed to return home back to Godhead without a doubt. See? Yes? So this so-called that if the solution, like you see the sages, they were worried. What happens when at the time of death I get fever, I won't be able to, when you get heavy fever, you know what happens? Yeah? You just knocked out. You follow it, now you read. The kind of consciousness when you are sleeping or what? It is what? The mode of ignorance. Yes? So therefore the solution is that we have to practice our sadhana bhakti very strictly. Understand? We have to do. Then there's a good chance that Prabhupada said that you never forget Krishna at the time of course, Prabhupada quoted two verses here in 6 to 9 and 10. It's about what happens if you chant and you fall down from the roof, you fall down, you get an accident on the road and all these things. Yeah? I'll go to that before we wrap up. Of course, I have not finished actually. Death, huh? Just now someone quoted 11, 20,
10, 20.
huh?
10. 11, 20, 10.
10.
11, 10.
Huh?
11, 10, 20.
11, 10, 20. What is the verse?
Death is not at all pleasing. Death is not at all pleasing.
Okay. Death is not at all pleasing, and since everyone is like a condemned man, been led to the place of execution, what possible happiness can people derive from material objects or the sense of the gratification they provide? I think we have studied this. Now, these two verses are very, very important. Huh? It's 11, 20, what? 14? These verses are very, very important. A wise person, knowing that although the material body is subject to death, it can still award the perfection of one's life, should not foolishly neglect to take advantage of this opportunity before death arrives. This, huh? And then 15. Without attachment, a bird gives up the tree in which his nest was constructed when the tree is cut down by cruel men who are like death personified, and thus the bird achieves happiness in another place. Knowing that one duration of life is being similarly cut down by the passing of days and night, one should be shaken by fear. In this way, giving up all material attachment and desire, one understands the Supreme Lord and achieves perfect peace. You understand? Now, of course, the next verse is very, very important. As just spoken by Human body, which can award all benefit in life, is automatically obtained by the laws of nature. Although it is very rare achievement, this human body can be compared to a perfectly constructed boat, having the spiritual master, the captain, and the instruction of the personality of guided as favorable wind, impelling it on the course. Considering all these advantages, human being who does not utilize his human life to cross the ocean of material existence must be considered the killer of his own soul. This is very, very important point. If you don't take up the spiritual program, you're considered killer of your own. Huh? Therefore, there's another verse. Labdva
Google 11
11,
9.
19, 9, 9. 11, 9, what? 20? Okay, here. I think this is the same translation. After many births, we have attained this human form. Therefore, before death comes, we should engage ourselves in transcendent loving service to the Lord. That is the fulfillment of human life. And one famous verse, 7, 6. Kaumaram acharat. Yeah? Hope I've commented on this many times. Now we can go to this. Right. Sri Prahlad Vacha Kaumaram Acharat Pragyo Dharmam Bhagavatiya Durlabha Manusya Janma Tadapi Adurvamartadam. Prahlad Maharaj said, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human body, form of body, from the very beginning of life, in other words, from the tender age of childhood, to practice the activities of devotional service. Giving up all engagement, the human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other body, it is meaningful because in human life, one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung one song, huh? What is that? Pakshi? To death.
Hare Krishna.
So better you chant. Otherwise, when you're carrying your body, it'll be too late. When they put fire, what? That agong, what is it? What? Huh? Agon. Yeah? The fire when they put in your mouth, they start burning your body, they put fire first where? Huh? Finish. Too late. Of course, you already died, but so I think I covered pretty much everything about that. I missed out anything, any points on this? Huh? Yes? Nobody can save you from that. Huh? That yesterday he quoted the verse already. Yesterday he quoted about demigods cannot save you. 10, 50, 10 51, 51, 20. The demigods told what's his name? Huh? Muchukunda. You want anything, we can give you, but except liberation. That only Vishnu can. Just like a dead man, you can ask for anything except freedom. So, I think we have thoroughly explained this subject. Yes? Therefore, the only solution is to loudly, what is that verse? After 2:1:6, there's another verse that is explained. Tasmat. Huh? One verse just before. Tasmat, huh? This is very important. Therefore, tasmat means therefore. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kittavyascha Smartavyascha Ta Apayam. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead with the super soul, the controller, and the savior of all miseries. Of course, I'm not finished. There's one more point that I want to stress. 4.9. Yes? Krishna say anyone, Janma Karma Cha Midivyam. Yes? Yeah? What does that verse mean?
One should know the activities of the Lord. Then
One who knows the transcendental birth and activities will not come back again. Yes? Correct? So that means everybody think, yeah, I just know. But it's not possible until and unless you go to. In other words, if you want to escape this birth, death, and all, you must know Krishna. In order to know Krishna, you have to go to who? Huh? Not only spiritual master. You have to go to spiritual master and, of course, spiritual master, the main devotees. Where is this status? Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very, what to say? Not, he's, he makes it basic. So you can see here, so unless you go to the devotees, it's not possible. One who has obtained pure devotional service by association with my devotees always engage in worshipping me. Thus, he very easily goes to my abode, which is revealed by my pure devotees. In other words, all this we talk about getting to Krishna, chanting to everything, it can only happen if we take association of who? That means you try, you learn, and then you go home and you do everything and all, but you don't associate with devotees. And it's also dangerous. It is what? Yeah, again, in other words, my dear Uddhava, I am personally the ultimate shelter and the way of life for saintly liberated person. Thus, if one does not engage in my devotional service, which is made possible by associating with my devotees, then for all practical purpose, one possesses no effective means for escaping from material existence. Yes, yeah, you heard nice, that means, yeah, you remember Krishna, yeah. But if you don't want to associate with the devotees, then forget it. What is the word? Forget it. It's not going to work. Yeah, see. No, what is that? Then for all practical purpose, one possesses no effective means for escaping from material. What is material existence? Hello? Hello? Of course, it was very nice we say about Krishna chanting and all, but if you don't want to do this, then forget it. Correct? Huh? This is very, very important. If you think that the body association is not important, then it cannot work. It cannot. Difficult. In fact, if you don't do this, then fall down is what? Inevitable. Unless you are a Prabhupada, I don't know, maybe you are. You have descended with a pair of kartal to deliver all people. Where you like to go? Chinatown. Where? Chinatown. Sit down there under the tree.
Indoor stadium.
Indoor stadium. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Where? Yes. Where? Commonwealth camp. You discovered a tulsi plant there. Sit down there and chat. Deliver. Yes. So I'm making this point and stressing on this is so important. It completes the whole class. Yes. Any questions? That was Prabhupada. Prabhupada. Where's that? What? 30? 33. Yeah, this is a very important verse. Prabhupada always saying when he goes to the toilet, in the morning when he goes to the toilet to take Prabhupada. Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaja Pada Pancharantam Atve Mem Visatu Manasaraja Hansa Prana Prayana Samahe Kapavatta Vittai Khanda. Khanta means what? Neck. Avarodhana without Smaranam Taste. O Krishna, O Lord Krishna, at this moment let the royal swan of my mind enter the tangled stems of your lotus feet. How will it be possible for me to remember you at the time of death when my throat will be choked up with mucus, bile, and air? See again. So please. That's why in Yeshopanishad, the verse, what verse is that?
ISO 17.
Huh?
ISO 17.
Isho 17. Huh? You please remember all that I did. Huh? Yes?
During the next was 5 till 12. Now 11 you are speaking about the 12. Today is 12.
Yesterday you 12, 11, no? And another point you missed out, that how rare is the Lord's appearance. You didn't. Krishna takes birth when? Yeah? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, right? Once in a day out. How rare is that? Of course, one day, tomorrow is Brahma day. Another what? How many days? How many days of Brahma? 4.32 times by? 1,000 is it? No, that's one Manu. Times by 14. Times by 2 again. Per day, night.
One full 24 hours is 8.64 billion years.
Then one day, 8.64
Billion.
million or billion? Billion. So if you got, then that also the next day middle, not just the next day beginning, it's middle again. 7 manus must pass.
From middle to middle is 24 hours.
24 hours,
8.64 billion years.
8 point, you got that time? Hello? See how rare, huh? So the rare, and then also the Lord comes. But again, the point that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made, he made that point? If you chant, then in fact, you will never lose my company. Although it's very rare. But, man mana bhava man bhakta. The moment you are with the Lord is already with you. You understand? Although it's rare, but the moment you are sincerely chanting, then he is automatically there. Immediately, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you will never lose my company. You understand this point? That's why the chanting, especially in the association devotee, is so potent. And the preaching is even more dynamic. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked everybody to do those 2 things. What is that? First he asks you to chant. Then he asks you to 2 things. Yes. In this way, the rare Lord, who is very, very rare, will be immediately. That's why I say when you chant, that's a word, right? When you start chanting, I what? Dance on the tongue. That Rupa Goswami's verse. Right? What is that?
199. Until 199.
Until 199.
199.
1999.
1.99.
1.99. So this is, see how just by chanting, right? Yeah, this was. I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, they appear to dance within the mouth. We then desire many, many mouths. When the name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of our heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. So of course, I don't know your position. Maybe you are in this category. Because when I chant, I'm remembering the prasadam. And now already 10 o'clock, late for prasadam. Hello.
There is that verse, right? Yati vata doshena madbhakta nachamam smaret ayam aham smarami bhagavato nayam paramagatho. If he doesn't remember me at the time of death, due to
That's from the Varaha Purana. I wanted to quote that verse, but I didn't want to say it because because all my class will be wasted, So whatever stress I have said, that will become wasted because I show you this verse. Then you will be, oh, okay. That's why I didn't want to. It's from the Varaha Purana. Anyway, we'll show. I don't know where it is.
it's not.
I don't know where to get it because it was quoted by somebody. I have to find the Varaha Purana.
It's there, but it won't take out. Like Chaitanya Bhagavat verses, you can't search and bring out. It won't. I don't know why.
Unless you get it from the Varaha Purana. Anyway, the verse means you can say to them.
Then vata the doshena, vata the apavitra because of the derivation madbhakta nachamam smaret. If he cannot remember me at the time of death, aham smaravim madbhakta. I will remember my devotee and nayam paramagatha. I will bring him to my abode. But it's only reserved for those who have spent their whole life.
This verse, you should remember when you see this verse, you should remember Bhishma passing away. When Bhishma was passing away, he was suffering, and of course he was not suffering. He said he was not suffering. So he said that how fortunate I am. At this last moment, I'm leaving my body. You have come in front of me. So Krishna goes because he's pure devotee, no? You understand? Mahajan. Huh? So when he's a pure devotee, then Krishna automatically, as Prabhupada also writes just now in the purport, that Krishna will incarnate in your mind. But that means that you have to become what? Hello? Huh? What? Pure engineer.
But we have example opposite of Bharat Maharaj who whole life did it and then the end of life.
That Prabhupada writes in the purport, because he came attached to the deer, he did not consult the spiritual master. Prabhupada writes there. Because he did not consult the spiritual master, he fell down. So see, this example is given, but how? Yesterday when he was confused, he consulted spiritual master. You understand? Who is Vyasadeva? Who? Incarnation of God. Correct? So that is the method that we always must have what? Spiritual master. Cannot be independent of spiritual master. You understand? So Bharat Maharaj became independent. Then he attached to the deer, he fell down. You understand? It's a very important point. But he is cannot Every angle he has covered. Anything we don't know. Yeah, you see, even he gives classes of simple classes he gives. Practically because he was preaching to the white. In India, yeah, he spoke about the demigod thing a little bit, and then we went more when he was talking to the Patel fellow, Bombay, the Patel guy, because he think he knows Sanskrit and everything. And Prabhupada was smashing him all along. One time Prabhupada was fed up with him. He said, "No, we don't talk anymore. We just read our Krishna book." Hey, you guys are so disgusting. You understand that? This is why Indians, when they know something, wow, they're worse. Because they want to show off their what? Eruditeness, Wow, I know. So therefore, Prabhupada, he was merciful, You see, now we covered, we have just covered his class. This is his class actually. See how many subjects we have covered, is it not? And we just talk about what? That one subject, right? We are kept in that frame. How many ways we have gone to, how many angles of this subject until you understand. I don't know you understand. I hope you do. Importance of this. Yes, correct. It's simply Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, more thoroughly and most thoroughly see. Then of course we want to more example, then we have to show how leading personalities pass away. Yes, we don't have time. Who's that? Huh? People who become Krishna conscious like Bhishma Dev, people who are not Krishna conscious like what's his name? Bharat Maharaj, dear, and Puranjan, correct? Example. And the chance case, who was that? Ajamil, right? Yes? Chitayur came. So you see how examples are given. And then in the CC, the passing away of Haridas Thakur. So you see how you finish the class, not finished. You got to go all this to show you how relevant examples. Correct? That. And then not everybody will qualify like Ajamil, Yeah? No, I will chant. Huh? You will chant. Chanting time here now, practice already, you're falling asleep. Huh? Before half an hour is finished, 10 times you're running out. Huh? Yes or no? Hello? Huh? This is the test. Test. Correct. And how much more the test will be severe when you're lying down, especially when you're in pain. Forget it. Your mind will what? I also was thinking, okay, I'm going in town, they're going to cut my heart. They're going to cut my chest, not my heart. I said, well, I was just chant, before I know it, I was coming out of the operation theater, wheeling me out. Then I was thinking, what happened? And there was a good 5 hours was gone. I was not cold. I don't know when they knocked me out also. You understand? It's not a playing matter. It's dead business, Come on, become serious. And chanting. That's why there's a saying, you must chant Hare Krishna in such a way that you're going to what? Die next moment. And you must make money in such a way that you will never die. There's two analogies. You must make money in such a way that you think you will never die. But you must chant in such a way that you're going to die next moment. Huh? Yeah? Better you die without money. Best for you. That's it. This is explained in the 10:10, 10, Bhagavatam 10:10. All this, how you die, poverty person and a person who's with money, the whole subject is there. But Narada was giving his, analogy on these two sons of Kuber. How these guys are nonsense, your wealth and all that, they are doing all kind of crazy things, and how a person is poverty stricken, he will have nothing, and that way he will develop the saintly qualities because his poverty, he cannot go enjoy his senses. He was giving the breakdown, you can see. So when you die in that manner, that's why sadhus, the best way to die, it is said that when you are not surrounded by any relatives. The worst way to die is when you are surrounded by relatives. You understand enough? Two another. Why? Because devotees, we want to die with devotees all surrounding us and chanting. That's very auspicious. Prabhupada also left like that. Many, in fact, Bhaktisiddhanta, he left by how? They were chanting this song. What is that song? Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. That song. You know, because he's a transcendental personality. So these are all examples, and what we say that we can see, learn, because we all have to take the test. We all have to. The Prabhupada said one Bengali verse, no? Kirtan karo, bhajan karo,
मुक्ति जान लो भाई
uh,
भजन करो साधन करो मुक्ति जान लो
all this is tested, your bhajan and your kirtan at the time of death. So we should be very, very serious about it and try. Somehow or other, pray for. Of course, yesterday we were discussing. I was going to say I was going to talk about this verse, and then he was telling me one story, about what's his name, Pritu Putra. Pritu Putra was the temple president of Paris, and after Prabhupada left, he fell down. In fact, before Prabhupada left, he also left the movement and was doing so many crazy things, satanic rites and drugs and all this. So he was finished, going to die. Then nobody around. The doctors came, just waiting to sign the paper. No, so they were sitting and waiting, and this man, he was dying. Then he woke up from the bed, no, like this, and then he said, "Prabhupada, you have come," and he fell down and died. This story is not from anybody, from the doctors themselves. So the authenticity can be, will be very. So he was fallen. He completely finished doing drugs, doing this, everything, womanize, everything. So at the time of death, he woke up like this and said, "Prabhupada, you have come," and he died. So what does this show? Hello? What does this show? Huh? What?
Remember that time.
Who remembers?
Time of death, he
Come on, what are you talking about, Prabhu? I'm giving you an example, a very important example here, Prabhupada. What are you talking? It is because of your service to Prabhupada. Prabhupada never forgot that little bit. What Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita? A little endeavor. Huh? You understand? This is so important. You see how this example, huh? How important this is, because you do any service to Prabhupada, how much Prabhupada, remembers. Because at the time he was one of the big temple presidents. He was, big time. Rituputra, I think you can read in the, what do you call it, the Everwell Visha, or you can read in the letters, Prabhupada letters, Rituputra, like that. You can read. So you see, so many examples, So how we should be very careful in doing our. You please the spiritual master. I think there's another example that Gaudiya used. One person who died. He gave up his spiritual life. He's disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta. He gave up his spiritual life. He went through all nonsense and he died. Then he went to Yamaloka and he met Yamaraj. Yamaraj said, "Oh, I know you. You are disciple of so and so. Why you are not taking your spiritual life seriously?" Okay, never mind. I give you one more chance. Better you go back and become more serious. This story is there in Korea. You know? You understand? So how important it is to serve the spiritual master. If you serve him favorably to the rest of your life, then what would be your benefit? Here's an example of a person who left halfway, correct? But if you carry on to the rest of your life, how much you will benefit? Huh? Spiritual master, what? You will never what? Very merciful. You understand? We have to be. Of course, we should not think like this and do nonsense. That should not be the what? Intention. Our intention should do. Yes. Yesterday he quoted one word, that Sudama Vipra. Krishna, whatever great he does, he doesn't care. But whatever little you do, oh, he takes it as, oh, Prabhupada, merciful. So therefore we should, look, I don't know about you remembering Krishna and all, I'm sure you will. But in my case, I don't think so. I am only got one hope. That's Prabhupada said, you hold on to my dhoti and I will take you back. He told me. What he said? You hold on to the corner of my dhoti. Huh? There? Where's the corner of the dhoti? Hello? And I will take you back home to.
One time the disciple asked Gopāl, every time you get, if I remember spiritual master, you shall I go to Prabhupada? Say, go then say yes, because spiritual master goes to Vaikuntha. So you go to that.
That story is also there in the Ramanuja Sampradaya. One devotee will always come and only see Ramanuja. He will not see the deity. So when you were seeing only me, you see the deity? No. For me, the deity is you. And it's not wrong. What is that word? Sakshat Darishwar. Huh? You understand? He's always watching only Rama. So yes, Prabhupada. If you take shelter of Prabhupada, how you can send by Krishna, no? Yes, and anyone who does, Prabhupada in your early days, how he was struggling without money, without man, without everything. Yes, and that's why he's always glorifying his Western disciples. Why? They did so much for him. There was no Indians around there. Only one. He was the only Indian, he said. Yes. Yeah. Because now we have so many Indians, what we are doing. Okay, nothing else. Anything else to add? Anybody? No? All right. Anything in the all right. All glories to everybody. Thank you very much. Kṛṣṇa Bhagavatam ki.